Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Onyeama, has met with his Namibian counterpart, Honorable Netembo Nandi-Ndaitwah, to discuss relations between both countries. Now, Mr. Onyeama, who is on a working visit to the country, has also met with the Nigerian community there. Our South Africa Bureau Chief spoke to the Nigerian High Commissioner to Namibia, Ambassador Lillian Ono, ahead of the meeting to get a glimpse of what's on the agenda. Here's what she had to say.
Can you just give us like a summary of what's going to happen?
Basically discussing bilateral issues that concern both countries and just trying to solidify and improve relations. Every country, there's always room for improvement. Okay. So that's all.
I know earlier this year there was some friction over deportation, over visa issues. Where are we now? What actually happened?
Well, I won't go into the details of what happened. This is a hijack by sister. But hopefully we'll iron out all the little bits and pieces, all the knots, and just find a workable solution, something that will work for both countries.
Okay, but were you given reasons for what made you make your decision?
You're still trying to make me talk more than I want to talk, so...
So we'll just understand what happened.
I know, but I would rather give a full interview after we sort out things. But yes, you're right, we did have issues with deportations, and we definitely took our own actions, and we're now just trying to make sure everything works out.
Okay, I'm just looking at the Air Namibia. We celebrated the first flight less than a year, and now they've stopped. Is it gonna, if this is resolved, is it gonna resume?
It really had nothing to do with us. They had 4 Airbus planes. 3 of them were confiscated because they owed debts to South Africa and Cyprus. So Cyprus confiscated 1, South Africa confiscated 2, and then you had 1 functional plane and couldn't fly. So it had absolutely nothing to do with us.
Well, our South African Bureau Chief, Betty Divya, is in Namibia, and she joins us now to discuss more about this meeting. Hello, Betty. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you.
So this meeting follows President Buhari's visit to neighboring South Africa. What would you say is the significance of Mr. Onyeama's visit to Namibia at this time?
Well, as you know, Nigeria and Namibia, they have a very long-standing relationship, dating way back from the days of their struggle and to their independence. And in 2014, former President Goodluck Jonathan was here on a state visit to mark the 24th independence anniversary of the country. And a number of bilateral agreements and MOUs were signed, covering a lot of things. So we understand that this particular meeting is like a prelude to the 5th session of the Joint Commission of Cooperation between both countries. After his meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister, Netembo Nandi-Ndaitwah, he's now meeting more openly with the other ministers, including that Foreign Affairs Minister, where they're talking about the issues. Bilateral agreements include training of their foreign service personnel by our own Foreign Service Academy, a bilateral air services agreement, health sector, geology, mining, visa waivers for official and diplomatic passport holders. Those are agreements that we already have. That's about 10 agreements and 11 MOUs, or the other way around. So they're looking at that. Probably a bigger visit is in the offing, but these are the issues that they're talking about. You have present at the meeting the ministers for higher education, transport, culture, and the minister of the president. So it's a high level delegation from their side, and our minister and other diplomats from our side than right now. So going on, so that one of the meetings between ministers, there is a wide meeting. After that, they'll be speaking with the meeting.
Yeah, I believe a lot of other issues would have been raised at this meeting. And, you know, in February this year, Nigeria stopped giving Namibians visas, I'm sure, as a result of the deportation of some Nigerians. I'm sure this was part of their discussions, but do we know what resolutions came out of that?
The resolutions are yet to be made public, but I'm sure it's some of the things they would have talked about, because both countries have relatively had a good relationship. But this friction at the beginning of the year, I think it was about February or so, or January or February. But in response to that, the ambassador here stopped issuance of visas to Namibians who wish to visit Nigeria. But I'm very sure this is some of this is part of the issues that they will talk about. And as the ambassador had said earlier in that interview, that they hope to talk about it and resolve some of the little issues that they've had.
All right, then, Betty, glad to have you join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.